What it is, folks. What is going on, peoples? Peoples. All right, hold on. Let me go ahead and share this out. Tweet. All right, so I'll give everybody some time to join as I just, got this thing going here. Woo, got the sun right on me. Okay. All right, I'll give everybody a chance to join, and we will talk about whatever it is you want to talk about, folks. How you folks doing? Sal, my friend. Anna, how are you? How's everybody doing? Welcome. Andrew, welcome. My good friend Sal. Sal, one day, my friend, I got a feeling. I could see me and you having a nice sandwich together one day. Maybe a Manhattan special, a glass of wine. Sounds good to me. It's coming, Sal. I tell you, one day. I'm great. I am doing great. I am doing wonderful. I hope everybody else is doing good. Arby! I'm doing good, man. Michael, how are you? What's going on, everybody? So I'll give everybody some time to join. Umaran, my friend. I'm telling you, I'm in too, Sal. I'm in. I am in. Yes, it will happen, my friend. It will happen. So, guys, if you want, please go ahead and share this video on any social media platform you want. I'm actually going to try to do more lives because, again, there's not many topics to really talk about when it comes to baseball right now. So I'm going to jump right into it. Everybody, again, thank you for joining. Again, people, please go ahead and share this. I would greatly appreciate it. How's quarantine treating you? It's treating me good. It's treating me good, man. I'm doing well. I'm getting into best shape of my life. So I know a lot of people have said they gained weight, and I can see how you could gain weight during quarantine. But I've done great. I've been excellent. I've been working out every single day. I've been doing a 1.5 mile run, 2 miles, weightlifting a bit, not as much. I wanted to try to back up a little bit on the weightlifting and do a lot of cardio. So, I've been able to do that. But yeah, so my quarantine has been absolutely wonderful. Can't wait for baseball. Oh, I hope we have it. And as of right now, we have no idea if we are going to have baseball this year at all. So we'll see. We will see if we have baseball this year. I mean, I'm assuming at some point these guys could get together and something could work out. Because at the end of the day, what if there is no baseball? How are these guys paid? How are owners making money off of the year? What does the bottom line look like? How much do owners lose? How much are they going to put towards free agency for other years? For, 2021, 2022. It could really have a crazy effect on the game overall. So it is very, very interesting to figure out what's going to happen with baseball overall. So there's a lot going on right now in society. There's a lot going on in sports. Just overall, there's a lot going on in the world right now, and I think I think everybody could agree with this. I think everybody is kind of tired of being cooped up. I think everybody wants to go out, have a good time. I think everybody wants to see a baseball game. Everybody wants to see sports back, but everybody also wants to be safe. So you got the spectrum, I guess, so to say, of how you're going to balance that. When is that going to happen, and how is that going to look? So, I don't want a plastic bag on the machine when I'm checking out. I don't want that no more. Food Lion. That's my complaint for the day. It sounds little, doesn't it? Food Lion. I go in there to get some salami and bread. I got to touch a filthy machine. So I go underneath. I do this move right here, right underneath it. I'm not touching that shit. What the hell's that? It's unbelievable. Okay, so I'm sorry. I missed a bunch of questions. Let's see. I'm sorry. I missed a bunch of your guys' questions. I was rambling off. I apologize. Let's see what we have here. What's up? Yeah, quarantine treating you. I saw that one. Hey, Pete. Hey, honey, how are you? Hope my wife isn't seeing this. Just kidding. Anyway, moving on. Babe, by the way, I love you if you're watching. It's a joke. There is no girl in tight pants walking down the street. I promise. Anyway, no, it's been good. We are safe. Yes, I am safe too. Thank you guys. Owners will lose a boatload. Yes, they will. Pete, no way. Connor fights Silva. Yeah, I don't see that happening. What's up with Aaron McRib Judge? Aaron McRib. Okay, Aaron McRib. I don't know. I don't know, man. Aaron Judge, it seems like he's still not healthy. So I don't know, what's going on with Judge. And again, I had my whole rant on the way the Yankees have done their things. I've had my whole rant there about that, and I don't know if I really want to rant about that again. I said it from the beginning, and I'll say it again. I think the Yankees did a horrible job of managing a lot of these injuries. I think they've done a horrific job. I think it's been terrible. There he is. DJ Steele's my guy. Aaron Judge, look, at this point, sorry guys, I got booted out. I think at this point, Yankee fans would be happy to see Jacoby Ellsbury batting 1 through 9 in the Yankees order and playing every position. At this point, I think fans, we just want to see baseball. However, that may be. I think we just want to see baseball. DJ Steels. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I've been wonderful. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you're doing well, too. But no, in all reality, I think Yankee fans would watch Jacoby Ellsbury bat 1 through 9. And to see him play every day. I think we just want to see baseball. Hell, I'd watch a AA team play every day if it meant just to see some baseball. Again, my whole rant the other day was just about, kind of looking past the bottom line, which is hard to do because the bottom line's always going to be there. At the end of the day, the facts are the facts, folks. We got to start seeing reality in everything as fact. Owners are owners. Yes, we can say they have all this money, they got all this and that. But again, it's a business. Baseball's a business. It's our love. It's our passion. It's probably some of their passions too. But it's a business. They buy baseball teams to make revenue, not to lose money. So it's also a business. The players get paid a lot of money and they want their salary and they're entitled to it. But of course, there got to be some wiggle room here and some what's the word? Oh my God, I can't think of the word. What's the word? Come on, somebody help me. You got one person wanting something, one person wanting another one. You got to come to the middle. What is the word, folks? It starts with a C. Compromise, Miguel. Compromise. Word of the day, kids. Compromise. I argue with my wife. We're arguing about this, that. I come to the middle. Let's do this. She says, all right, let's do that. Compromise. We have just compromised. Baseball needs to compromise. Word of the day, compromise. How many times will I be able to say compromise by the end of this chat? We need to compromise on many things. Compromise is a good thing. I'm now tired of the word compromise. Dana said today Conor should basically wait out. I think Dana's nuts. You want Conor McGregor fighting as much as Conor McGregor wants to fight. I know there's no gate, so Dana probably wants to hold off as much as possible until there's actually a gate for fighting, which would make all the sense in the world. But right now there is no gate. So for Conor McGregor to fight right now doesn't make sense in the sense of the UFC making money. as much as they can on a Conor McGregor fight, because there is no bigger show than a Conor McGregor fight. So I think that's probably where Dana's mind is, which indeed makes sense. Marriage is compromise, Anna, it is. Not as the word unprecedented. Okay. No, marriage is a sacrifice. Wow, we're getting really deep here, folks. I like this. This is what I want my channel to be. I don't want it just to be Yankee baseball. Look, we could compromise on things. I want to have more open discussions about fact, because again, as Conor McGregor said, I always knew my balls were too big for the baby Jets. It's my new favorite line. It's my new favorite line. Look, I always knew my balls were too big for the baby Jets. Okay? We can do whatever we want around here, okay? That's what this is. In terms of sick words. Okay, Miguel, I got you. I get you. I get you on that one. Guys, if you have not shared this out, share this out. I got nothing else to do today. Okay, I got to work out in about an hour. I have nothing else to do. So this is going to be it. We're going to talk. And don't you think about signing off this chat. We're talking, damn it. Some marriage feels like a prison sentence. Oh my God. You know, I don't have that. And I'm not married yet. But I don't have that. You know, we have a wonderful relationship. I mean, we're going on 10 plus years. Yeah, man, it's been good. It's been good, you know? It's been good. I feel like I'm having a therapy session here. Compromise. The marriage is all right. I feel it's good. How do you feel, honey? But we don't have that. No bigger fight than McGregor. Hell, try Undertaker versus Crow Sting. Okay, I can feel DJ Steels. Now we're really compromising here. Thank you so much for your advices about avoiding the taxes in legal way. Divorce seems likely. Oh, man. Well, look, divorce is not possible until I'm married. We are not married yet, so divorce is not possible as of right now. As long as you know the woman is always right. You know, Anna, that is very true. No easier way to end an argument than just shutting up and saying, you're right, babe, I'm done. But see, that's not compromise then, because compromise got to come from two people. Unbelievable that we're having a chat about compromise. I never understood this. I never wanted this to be about compromise, but now it is. Now it's about marriage. Look, the woman, that is the easiest way, Anna, I agree, to avoid any type of confrontation and an argument is to say, hey, babe, you win. That's right. We'll end this. We won't have this conversation no more. But for me, it's very hard to do that. Again, my balls have always been too big for the baby Jets. I love that line. I need a t-shirt. Thank you, Conor McGregor, for that. Pizza or burgers? I have not changed on this one. It is still pizza. Gio, my friend, how you doing? How are you doing, my friend? Yeah, nothing gets solved like that. I agree. You can't always just say, babe, you're right. You got to have some balls to have the conversation back. Jerry Springer, Simonetti style. That would be a good one. That would be an absolute wonderful one. I agree. Wow. Rice with fish. My guy, what do you... Are we now opening up discussions for the best dinner? The best plate? Are we compromising on pizza and burgers to rice and fish? This is bad. That's not a society. I'm good, man. Vegas opens a little bit tomorrow, so things are looking up. Yes, Gio, I've heard. And things are, tomorrow, the effect goes in order, where in Virginia, you have to wear a mask everywhere you go. I look like fucking Sub-Zero. If these eyes could tell you. I look like Sub-Zero. DJ Steels, look at this, man. This guy's wonderful. I love you, DJ Steels. Why? Why me? Why do I deserve this? Let me see what DJ Steels wrote. Come here, DJ. Come on. An old man tells his wife, you're like a cell phone, love. She says, do I make you vibrate like a cell phone? And the husband says, no. When I go through a tunnel, my signal goes down. Oh, 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 DJ Steels. I like it. Hey, Roy, my friend, what are you doing? I feel like a proctologist. I do look like Sub-Zero. This is compromise, folks. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Compromise. Do I take it off to breathe and get a little, for the throat? Do I take this off for that? As this guy just walks by thinking like, what the hell is this psychopath doing in this car? Do I take it off and breathe the virus-filled air to get a little... God almighty. I can't do it. I can't do it. Unbelievable. People are scared to breathe the air. God created this beautiful earth, folks. I just spit all over you. God created this wonderful air that we breathe. You don't wear a mask on your face. Come on. Come on. What are we doing? I'm doing wonderful, Roy. I'm doing wonderful. Yeah, man, I drink about 2 of these daily. I piss like a racehorse. My launch angle has gotten so great, you would think I'm Babe Ruth. You would think I'm Babe Ruth at this point. My launch angle is ridiculous right now. All this water, forget about it. Forget about it. Sal, you know what I mean. You know what I mean, Sal? I don't know where Ryan is. Maybe working on music or something. Ryan's a legit musician, folks, if you guys didn't know that. Ryan is a legit musician. That man he got some vocals on him. You know, Ryan, that man got some singing talent. Rather special. I love when people pass by and they see a guy sitting in a car talking, and they just give you this weird-ass look like this fucking guy is out of his mind. What is he doing? He's screaming into his phone. Fucking walk! They're gonna crowd around the car so they'll have an audience looking behind the window back here soon. My God. Well, I actually have a friend of mine who, his doctor told him he can't wear a mask because of his asthma. So I guess there is some people who really actually can't wear the mask. So it's interesting. Reaction to Covington leaving ATT. I don't think he really needs it at this point. I mean, a gym will take him. He's a great fighter. A gym would take him somewhere. He probably has enough money at this point now, too, where he could probably just set his own thing up. And, you know, get people in and have somebody coach him. I don't think that's a problem. So what do you guys want to talk about? You know, I don't mind ranting. You know, I was going to come on here and rant about, you know, all this, there's Nina Diaz, reaction to the George Floyd situation. I'll do it. I'll talk about it. So let me get a little serious, but I'm always going to be me no matter what. So, it's terrible. It's 100% terrible. You know, basically you had murder captured on camera. You know, the situation's ugly. It's an absolute horrible, horrible situation. Should have never happened. Nothing like that should ever happen. I watched the video one time and I don't think I'll ever want to watch it again. Any video like that enrages me. It bothers me. You know, there's times where, you know, cops are humans. You know, cops are humans. So you're gonna have your good and bad in everything you do. People get in wrong positions and they fuck shit up. You know, when I was regularly working years ago back in New York, I remember when I worked in Kenneth Cole, the clothing designer. I worked in his flagship store. If you guys don't mind sharing this video out too to get more people in, retweeting it, I can't really do it right now because I'm on here. But this is simple. So this is not, this situation. But my point here is that, at this time is even in the lowest of levels of life where you have things like retail stores. You got a great manager you get along with, everything runs fine. All of a sudden you get a new one in and everybody's pissed because the guy's an asshole. So maybe he does his job well, but it's not the way you like it. So in positions of power, you get people who do a job that you don't like how they do it. And some people that shouldn't hold certain positions. And they shouldn't be allowed to have certain positions. And again, folks, just being honest, you get bad people doing jobs where they're supposed to be protecting people. Or again, officers who may have a bias, who may be bad. But you have also many officers who try to do their job the best of their ability. And when I analyze a situation, I analyze a situation from every single party, and I like to understand all parties. There's no understanding to this video. The officers are wrong. And I had somebody DM me and go, "Hey Pete, I know you're saying the officer was wrong that was on him, but why are you saying the other officers who sat there are wrong too?" Well, they're an accessory to murder at this point. They are wrong. Because if I'm a cop and I seen that happening, all I'm saying is, my guy, get off of the man. Get your knee off of him. You could sit him up. There's 4 of us here. The man's not going anywhere. He's cuffed. You could get your knee off him, put him up, let him sit on the corner, whatever it is. You don't have to have your knee on his neck or wherever it was placed on him, where the man is obviously in some sort of pain or asking, "Hey, lay off me, get off me." There was no struggle. I've seen the video now too. Afterwards, there was no struggle. Everyone in America has the right to be upset, not just one group of people. It's an injustice for everybody because the police are meant to protect all of us. That's the job of the police, is meant to protect everybody. So I think you had the opportunity here where the world was finally united on something. The world looked at this and said, "Damn, this is bad. This officer, there should be no investigation. This officer needs to be charged with murder. Every one of them should be charged with something. And there should be justice." And I think there will be justice. I have a problem with the aftermath of it. And that's where it bothers me a lot. Because I have a problem with the afterwards of it. Agree. Jim, I agree 100%. And that's my problem with the aftermath of what happened. You basically had I feel like the majority finally. So the majority of the country, let alone the world, let's just talk about the country here. In a time where politics, whether what side you're on, is divided, you had a time here where everyone agreed this is bad and this is wrong. We need to make an example here, and I believe the justice will be served. But then you have peaceful protest, and then you have not peaceful protest who again only hurt their community, which is what bothers me badly. And let me explain the many reasons of why it bothers me. Again, a situation here. Let's look at the factors here. You got a video evidence of murder. Everyone agrees that something needs to happen here. Protests are as American as baseball. Peaceful protests are as American as baseball is, to reference a lot of the things I talk about baseball. It is as American as you get. We have the right to do that. We have the right to peaceful protest. That's the great thing. I always say it. So I thank God every day that I'm American. And I believe that. Every single day, I thank God I'm born in this country. Coming from a family that was born in Europe and Sicily. So, peaceful protest is great. My problem is when it becomes a excuse to loot. It becomes and it overshadows. And I've had people today goes, no, it didn't overshadow it. It's just another conversation. Nah, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. Because what you've just done is hurt the community even more that you're living in. You just hurt the community more that you are living in. That you should be looking to help. You have hurt it more. And now the conversation isn't only about this injustice that happened that we all saw. Now it's about the looting, the burning down of a city, the robbing TVs, the liquor stores, burning down an Advance Auto, a housing project. They burnt down a low-income apartment building that was being built. Why? What did that do? Who did that hurt? And on top of that, what about those people that were working in Target? Are they going to have a job? What about the people in Advance Auto that are struggling now that might just say, hey, I want to go to work tomorrow? They're not going to work tomorrow. What about those people? What about the people that want to do good and want to have a conversation about what happened and say, look, shit, everybody's on the same side here. We don't need to make this and I hate the idea that everything got to be made a race thing when it really doesn't. Facts are facts, folks, and you know you can lay it down, and you can. And I said this in a tweet earlier. A lot of people don't want to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. They want to talk about the good and the bad. We'll leave the ugly out, so we'll just put more focus on these other two. We don't want to talk about the trouble and the bad. We'll just focus on the good and the bad. We'll leave the ugly to the side. Let's just pinpoint on these few things. When you look at a problem, you're supposed to look at the whole picture. And you got to diagnose that problem and look at yourself in the mirror and say, shit, maybe I'm a part of the problem, or maybe I'm not. Maybe I got to do more to speak up. And just sitting back and watching politics and the virus and people's lives affected, it's hard to sit back and be quiet. It's hard to sit back and be quiet. It's hard to sit back and say, let me just talk baseball. And I think maybe if I was paid, let's say, by a New York Times, by a New York Post to just discuss baseball, I would try to keep that separate. But the Simonetti source is me. You know, people say, oh, well, you call it the Simonetti source because you break news. Not really. It's the source of everything me. Music, baseball, sports, politics, whatever it is. It's going to be me discussing my opinion, my ideas of all that. Whatever news I get and break is just icing on the cake, so to say. I've developed a bit more of a community now than I ever have. And it's going to pick up a lot more when baseball comes back. And of course, I want to talk about baseball. But I do think it's important to have balls and to be able to not be afraid. Because, folks, believe it or not, that is a lot of the problem. Is that people would side one way because they're scared to say what they really feel. I'm not. I've never been scared to say what I feel. Again, my balls have always been bigger than the baby Jets. I love that line. I'm going to keep saying it. So I'm never concerned to say what I feel. But the situation's bad. I wish the type of protest stop. Doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think it helps the community. I don't think it helps the point of the protest at all. And the thing that bothers me more than anything are rich celebrities who egg it on. That's the worst to me. You're people like your Ice Cubes, who I like his music. Ice Cube is 50 plus years old now, 40 in his late 40s probably, early 50s, still talking the street shit. Many people believe he was always an actor. And it was always a thing that apparently, he didn't come from this whole background and all that. So that's another story. But it bothers me where people who are well off will tell people who are not well off to go fuck up. Go throw your life away because, hey, look, I'm set. That's like me winning, making a lot of money, doing really well, and having people do my dirty work because I just want to fit in. That's how I equate it. You're a rich athlete. You're loaded. You're making millions of dollars. Your idea is to tell the youth, burn every fucking thing down. Burn it all to the ground, damn it. I'll sleep in my silk sheets tonight. I don't know where you're gonna sleep, but burn it down, damn it. Ice Cube saying, fuck the police. I've been saying it. He's been saying it his whole life. It got him rich. God bless him. Probably got a lot of inner youth in trouble, unfortunately. Because it's a lot. It takes a man, folks. It takes a man to spit the truth and say, no. Hold on a second. Do the right fucking thing. Do the right thing. It takes a man to say, I rather love because hating is a little too much. Hating is tough. It's tough to be hateful every single day. Folks, I dealt with it on Twitter. Anybody who was with me from the beginning, you've seen the amount of hate that came my way. Death threats, all that bullshit. So it takes a man to be able to say, you know what? I'm not just gonna go ahead and fit in with the crowd. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna try to be a little more productive. I'm not gonna use my platform to tell less fortunate people to go fuck up, to go throw their life away. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to be a part of that. I want to be part of a change. I want to be a part of, let's figure out what's best here. Let's figure out what the root cause might be. Let's look at this fairly. And again, I am blessed in the sense that I've lived and been able to grow with my beautiful fiance who is Dominican. Okay? And I bring that up because she mentioned something to me the other day. We're looking at houses now, by the way, and I think I told you guys this, and I'll share this story with you. Share this out too, folks. I still have about another 30 minutes to go, so please go ahead and share this. Matter of fact, guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to share this one more time. All right, so I'll share this story with you guys. We were looking at houses, and we live in Virginia now. Both from the South Bronx. Well, she's from Manhattan, from the South Bronx. We lived together on 170th and Jessup Avenue for a while. It's with that, and of course her experience here. So the other day, we're looking at this house, and we're driving through the neighborhoods, and all that, and this neighborhood it's out more in a country area than Richmond, for an example. That is very diverse. Richmond's a very diverse city. But we're driving out more towards a country area, and my fiance is obviously Dominican. She's not white. It's obvious to tell she's not a white woman. So we're driving down this area, and me just being me, I'm driving with her, and I said, "Baby, sure you want to live here?" And she just goes to me, "Why? Why wouldn't I want to live here?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." I never said nothing. But we got home later that day, and we talked about this recently. She looked at me when all this stuff was going on about, racism and all this, and she goes, "You know what's crazy, babe?" I said, "What?" She goes, "I'll be honest, I've been lucky. I have never experienced any racism." She experienced it one time, and I told her I don't feel like this was racism. But she was in Florida one time, and her and her friend were talking Spanish, and some guy who I don't think she said she don't think he was white, but he said, you guys are in America, you should speak English. Whatever, stupid as it may be, to me that's ignorance. But anyway, she mentioned that to me. I'm like, damn, that's interesting. She's obviously not white. She's never experienced racism. Me, on the other hand, everybody that non-white, non-Italian is going to be like, oh, please, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Grew up in Castle Hill, Gun Hill Road, South Bronx, 170th and Jessup, Washington Heights, East Harlem. I got a bookload of stories. Maybe not racism, but just ignorance. Very recently, last time we went to New York, going up the train station, there's about 4 guys hanging out. Hey, must be a Trump supporter. My dude, I'm from here. You ain't scaring me. Anyway, let me get on the train. Me and my friend Felix, you guys know, anytime I go to Washington Heights to hang out with Felix, once I got at the train, everybody in the world, oh, cop, whatever, stupid shit. In the Bronx, of course, I'm with a Dominican woman. You hear your little jabs and stuff like that. Okay? Just being honest. Anybody who lived in Castle Hill, anybody who lived in 170th and Jessup, near Yankee Stadium, Grand Concourse, you don't see many fresh Italian dudes walking down the block. Johnny, you know what I'm saying? Castle Hill, Washington Heights. Dominicans have always loved me. So me and Dominicans have never had a problem. We'll crack our jokes, but it's never been in a hatred way at all. I got off of 125th in East Harlem one time. First thing I heard was, must have got off at the wrong stop. Bottle thrown at me. I never saw it as racist. I see it as ignorance. I feel bad. I say to myself, damn, that's gotta suck to live that way. I'll never know what it's like. Because I can't hate somebody. I wasn't raised to hate someone. I wasn't raised to have hatred. I wasn't raised that way. My mother and father raised me with the simple phrase, there's good and bad in everybody. Every race has a good and every race has a bad. Everybody. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever. There's a good and bad. And that's the greatest saying ever. There's good and bad in everybody. It's like when some people say, oh, that's a bad neighborhood. Well, your neighborhood, that's the suburbs, could be bad too. Hell, folks, UVA is known as a college that covers up countless suicides every year. You don't hear about it in the news because it makes money. So my point is, I think everybody experiences ignorance in their life. Johnny, I'm happy you got the shirt, my man. Yeah, so I moved around in many different spots in New York. Felix could tell you stories. First of all, look, my friend Felix, you guys know Felix. Felix is a white Latino. He's light. He's light-skinned. People will start making jokes or saying stuff in Spanish thinking he's white. That he doesn't know what they're saying. We've had that happen before. After the club and stuff like that. It's ignorance. I don't see it as hate. I never looked at, again, the time I got off at East Harlem. I went to Brooklyn one time. And you got to hear the things that I had people following me. Just to see what I was doing, where I was going. I never seen it as racism. I see it as ignorance. You got dumbass people all over the world, folks. All over the world. But the problem with this situation was, Everybody agreed it was bad. Everybody agreed that justice needed to be served. But you can't fuck it up by hurting your own people and your own community. That's like pissing where you sleep. Dogs don't even piss where they sleep typically. Typically, that's the place they'll keep the most clean. Is where they sleep, where they lay their head at night. You have a tragedy, and now you have more people talking about looting and talking about this bullshit. And people that may have been on the side of saying, damn, this was really bad, now are saying, fucking shit, why did this happen? That's my problem with it. To me, there is no black and white, so to say, when it comes to what happened to George. The man was murdered. The man was murdered. And there needs to be justice there. And there needs to be an example set. And there needs to be a conversation about training of police officers. Because not all of them are like this. You guys, again, might laugh at me when I say this. I am always, for some reason, cops always fucked with me my whole life. I remember being in high school. I had two brothers that were worse than me. My oldest was the worst one in school. I felt his wrath from teachers all the time because they knew who he was. So I was always fucked with over bullshit. But again, it comes down to good and bad. It comes down to proper training. It comes down to all that. I refuse to believe that the country that has overcame more than any country is evil. I will refuse to believe that until the day I die. And we can very well sit there, folks, and pick out portions that we don't like. Because let me tell you, every race can do that. Italians. People say, oh, you don't know because you don't have my experience. Well, let me give you mine. People think every single Italian's in the mafia. So basically, you're saying every single Italian's a criminal. That's a stereotype of Italians. Stereotypes stick. But stereotypes are behind you for a reason because they've been existing for a long time. That's what people need to recognize. Stereotypes are there not because it's just a common perception. It's because there might be a little bit of truth to that. There might be a little bit of truth to that. Okay? Most Italians that came from Sicily, most of them, not all, we got the perception of, oh my God, he has a vowel at the end of his name. Folks, I worked in retail one time. A woman walked right up to me after talking to her for a while. Your family's in the mafia? I'm sitting there saying, what the fuck am I doing here if that's the case? What am I doing here? So, I think you got to look at the root cause of all these problems. And I think it's bigger than what people want to just make it out to be and look at one direction and that's it. This country's overcame everything. Everything. And I think the problem is that when you say something like that, people right away want to go to, yeah, but there's still injustice, there's still racism, there's still this and there's still that. And there is. Of course there is. You're never going to be perfect. You're never going to get everything right. But we do live in a society, folks, where you can be anything you want to be. And again, I don't think there's evidence that there isn't that anymore. I don't think there's evidence that that's not true anymore. Folks, you had a president who was part African American. You got governors, senators, congressmen, basketball players, football players, lawyers, Supreme Court justices, judges, cops, FBI agents, criminal investigators, again, police officers, firefighters, who are every single color under God. Brain surgeons, Dr. Ben Carson. President of the United States, Barack Obama. May not be a fan of him, everybody, but that's politics. Point taken, African American president. Some people probably thought in their lifetime they would never see that. That happened in America. Let's not lose sight of that. That's what bothers me. Let's not lose sight of that. It's easy to be hateful. It's easy. It takes a lot of work because I could never live. Can you imagine living your life every day saying, I can't be what I want to be because of this reason? I can't imagine living that way. And I love to hear somebody like a Candace Owens who really just talks facts and puts facts out there. I love that woman. I love her to death. I really do. But I hope justice is served. To end it, I hope justice is served. And I think it will be. I think everybody's on the same side of that. I don't think there's an argument. I just hate the idea of burning down your own community. That really bothers me. Looting pisses me off. Get a fucking job. Simple as that. Pete, who has a worse temper, Hispanics or Italians? My experience, I got a good experience of both. My fiance's temper is terrible. My temper is terrible also. I would say Italians. I would say Italians. I think Italians do. Tyler, have a good day, my friend. Guys, I got about another 20 minutes on here, so please shoot me any questions you want. Nina says, some people say Barack Obama didn't do much as president, but I just think he didn't cause, I guess, as much ruckus, you mean, as Donald Trump. Well, I voted for Barack Obama, so some of you might be kind of shocked by that, but Barack Obama could talk with the best of them. He could talk with the best of them. He's an educated man. He's smart. He has charisma. He could definitely, put light in a room. There's no denying that, and great for politics. I think his presidency is extremely weak, and that's not a knock on him. I thought George Bush was weak. I just think his presidency was weak for all Americans. I mean, a lot of people don't like Donald Trump. A lot of people do. A lot of people don't. And again, I don't hate somebody for disliking the president. That's fine. I worry about my family, and I worry about this country. I worry about America. People get mad at me sometimes when I say I do worry about America first. I worry about this country first, more than anybody else. I worry about America first before any country. You know why? Because this country affects my family. This country is going to affect my kids growing up in the future. I'm already getting older, obviously, and I'm living good. I've been able to build something. I'm happy about that. I just don't think Barack Obama did anything that he could have done with the hype that was behind him. What did he do with it? Allow women in men's bathrooms? Men in women's bathrooms? I mean, honestly, Obamacare? I could see there's some good in it, but a lot of it's shit, to be honest. And I could see why some people wouldn't like Donald Trump, and that's okay. That's the beautiful thing about living in this country. There's people that won't like him, and that is okay. That is fine. That's the amazing thing about living in America. But again, if we want to sit here and talk about facts, it's amazing. It is, folks. Yes, the virus came. I get it. Unemployment was the greatest ever. For African Americans, for whites, for Asian Americans, for Hispanics, for women. greatest unemployment rates ever, tax cuts, the greatest tax cut of all time, tariffs on other countries, ensuring that people will want to open factories again here. People will want to bring business back to America. Inner cities are being taken care of. That is so important because I grew up in one. So again, I never argue with somebody who goes, I just don't like them for this, and that reason. Fine. That's okay. That's America. You got every right to do that. But if you really want to sit back and talk about facts, the things that he's done for America are good. The media is bad. And I look at all of it. I look at Fox is bad. CNN's bad. MSNBC's bad. There's a lot of bullshit that goes on in the media, and it's not good for anybody. It's a cause of hatred. It's a cause of anger, and it's not good. When you take one part of a speech and you loop it 100 times and then leave out the rest of it, that's fucked up. And folks, that is fake news. When you take one part of a transcript and release it to feed a narrative, that's fake. And I agree. And I agree with that statement. I think sometimes he does go a little far. I agree with that in a sense. I do. I think sometimes he does go a little far sometimes, but that's him. That's always been his character. Anybody who voted for Trump knew they weren't voting for a saint. Let's get that straight real quick. We knew we weren't voting for a saint if you voted for him. You voted for somebody because we saw 8 years of America struggling. You wanted change. I want to see businesses come back. I hate seeing businesses go to Mexico, China. That's not racist. That's reality. I don't like seeing that. So I want to see people come here legally. I think that's fair. And here's my point. Let me bring this up because this is another debatable topic. Somebody got mad at me yesterday because I talked about my fiance's mom who came here at a very young age from the Dominican Republic, but she came here legally. And somebody got mad at me because I said that she came here legally. And the reason I bring that up, folks, is because it is important. Let me tell you why, and let me tell you how I kind of transitioned to two and make sense of it and make sense of the whole situation. It bothers me that people are okay with breaking the law in one area, but they're not okay with people breaking the law in another area. Let me tell you what I mean by that. If people are okay with illegal immigration, anybody just crossing the border, which is in fact a crime, then they shouldn't be okay with young kids that sell drugs, get a first offense, and get put in prison. They shouldn't be okay with that. That is bad. That's what bothers me. Is that you'll have people say people are running away from something bad, so that's okay for them to break the law. But what about the young kid in the inner city who maybe feels the need, I want to try to make some money for my mom, I feel I don't have anything, I make some poor decisions, and now I'm in prison for my first offense? That bothers me. That's what bothers me. Is that people don't see it that way, but I do. I see it that way. I think that's only fair. Again, another thing that Trump has done that Obama could have done. Anybody could have done it. Criminal justice reform, the First Step Act. Why are we holding people in prison for a fucking marijuana charge and they're getting 5 to 10 years in prison? Come on. For a first offense? But yet we want to have a catch and release, which was created under Barack Obama and Joe Biden, that let people go after they broke the law. So when I talk politics, folks, I'm not a Republican. Some of you will laugh at that. I'm not. I just like what some of these new policies are, what it does for our families, how it helps the country as a whole, how it helps inner cities. Is the man brash? Is the man harsh? Yes. Can the man say things differently? Yes. Did we think we were voting for a saint? No. 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 I'm right there, and the same thing. Zach says I follow every one of them. Am I not allowed to, Zach? I follow many liberals like you. What does that mean? What does that mean? Is President Trump still a businessman? I'm asking. Well, I think you needed that at this point. You know, I think you needed that at this point. I think you needed that at this point. I believe that. And whether it wasn't him, I don't know. Maybe it could have been somebody else also. But I do think you need somebody at this point of where America's like, folks, remember, we were only hitting 1% GDP. We were never hitting 3.5, 4%. You know, we were never touching those numbers. That's good for every American. That's not just good for one people. That's good for everybody. So when you and we are going to bounce back. We're going to bounce back extremely strong when this opens up again. All you got to do is look at the stock market. The stock market is consumer confidence. That's what it's based off of. We're finally starting to open up, and you've seen 3 days in a row. Today wasn't that great, but 3 days in a row before it is extremely high. So the stock market hasn't tanked like a lot of people predicted. That's a sign of consumer confidence. That's a sign of the confidence of, to be fair, this economy that's been created by this administration. Like it or not, that's just the facts. That's just facts. So I mean that's truly what it is. I think there's been a lot done by again, I understand why some people wouldn't like him, and I get it. That is okay. But that's the beauty of America. That is the beauty of this country, that we are allowed to talk bad about our leaders. If you talk bad about President Xi, you may have an arm cut off. You may be in prison. We don't have that here in America. And I hope to God we never do. We don't have that here. We don't have that here. He is working for free. And folks, one more thing before I could jump on to my next topic. A lot of people call him a con man. Okay, whatever, fine, no big deal. He's going to probably be the only president, maybe ever, that leaves the White House with less money than he came in. Because, explain to me how you can enter the White House and you're worth $1 million. After 8 years, you're worth $250 million. Let's audit those numbers. Let's figure out how that happened on that $400,000 salary, because you're not selling nothing. You're not selling any products. How did that happen? So, to be fair, he's probably going to be, and I don't have facts of this, I don't think there's been one recently at least, the only president that's going to leave office with less money than he had coming in. I think that's pretty obvious. And I think he said that before too, or something like that. So I think that's very obvious. Yeah, I follow anybody. I mean, I don't follow people for any specific reason. I follow Andy Martino. I think he's the biggest fool that ever lived. I follow Andy Martino. Does that mean I'm a fan of him? No, not at all. I follow many people I'm not a fan of. I follow many people that got a different opinion than I do. But I'm willing to have this conversation, again, because I have bigger balls than the baby Jets. Peter, I really hope Jones versus Ngannou happens. I don't think so. I don't think that fight's going to happen. I don't think that fight's going to happen. So, guys, I got a few more minutes, and we can keep talking. Anna says, I didn't vote for Barack Obama. However, I gave him credit for when he deserved credit. And people, even if you don't vote for Trump, you should say when he does something good and when he doesn't. I agree. I agree 100%. And I think a lot of people see my tweets and probably say, oh, well, he will agree with anything this guy does. That's not true, because I disagree with a lot of it. I disagree with a lot of it. I disagree in some of the whole Twitter thing that he's doing now. I think Twitter's a great tool for him, but I don't totally agree with saying today he wants to shut Twitter down. Or he could. That's ridiculous. You can't do that. It's a private company now. Twitter's wrong, too, because they shouldn't look to censor people unless it's child pornography and shit like that, then of course. But you shouldn't censor people who look to edit their tweets by putting little fact checkers on there. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Usman versus Masvidal, you think's going to happen? I do. I think that fight does happen. I read McGregor and Silva said yes to the fight. Yeah, I saw that too. I don't think that's going to happen. That's like an exhibition fight. I don't see that happening. I don't think Dana White cares about that. If Anderson Silva went out there and won some of his comeback fights, maybe you look at that like maybe. But he got injured again. He's a lot older now. I don't think anybody really cares to see that fight. I don't think anybody cares to see that fight. But Anna, I agree. I just hate the world that we're living in right now. Yeah, Conor would fight a gorilla tomorrow if the gorilla challenged him. I just hate the world that we're living in right now where a difference of opinion leads to you're a racist, or a difference of opinion leads to you're a bigot. That I hate, because that's not an argument. That's just ignorance. That's no longer a debate. And that's when on Twitter I cut my debates off, is when you're called a racist because my opinion is different than you. I don't think you could be a racist and be engaged to a woman of color for years, and not 10 years now. That would be the worst racist ever. So I just find that odd, that people would jump to that, and then you'll say to yourself, you'll say out loud, "Oh yeah, but I'm married to a woman of color." Oh, that even means you're a racist. Oh, what grade did you graduate from? So yeah, that to me is when arguments end and they no longer become a debate. It's just stupid. We're going the wrong way as a country when other countries start feeling bad for us. I don't know. I don't think we're going the wrong way as a country. I think we're at a time. Let me try to phrase this the best that I can to make sense of it. I think we're at a time where you got two very different mindsets, right? You got two very different mindsets. You got the mindset of people who want America to be really powerful, really strong, doing well for everybody. And then I feel like there's a group of, well, I want America to be America, but I want the world to be a part of it and change laws and change things for a small percentage of people to make it acceptable to everybody. And we kind of want to take away some things that offends other people. Like, for an example, I don't want to get in a big back and forth about religion, because I believe everybody should have believe in their own religion. But I do feel like Christianity has been under attack in America for a long time. And I'm a believer in God. I do believe that everything was created by God above us. I believe that. I believe in Jesus. I believe in the Bible. A deep believer in the Bible. So to hear that, maybe my kid can't pray in school, but a kid of another religion would be allowed to. Those things do bother me. And America was founded on Christianity, folks. It was founded on Christianity. That is the common main religion of America is Christianity. And I think sometimes when we have these conversations, people see it as bigoted or hateful, and it's not. It's an acceptance of everything, but then don't take my thing away and say I can't do it. And I think that should be fair game for everybody. I do in a sense, but I like to stick to America as a whole. I like to keep things. I love this country. I love this country deeply. I'll have an announcement to make of something I'm training myself for in the next couple of months. So probably early end of this year, early 2021, I'll have an announcement that I'm making a major change in my life. I'm not becoming a woman. No, but I'm training my body to do something that I always wanted to do, and I'm finally gonna do it. And I'm finally gonna do it. And I've set my mind to do it. And the day I do it and the day it happens, I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna be extremely happy. I'm not gay. I'm not getting a sex change. I promise. No, but no, I'm not. Yeah, as a Christian, you're right. We are getting, and it is, Christianity is no doubt. Are there bad Christians? Yes. If you've been to a church, you know there's bad Christians. There is. Again, there's good and bad and everything, but I hate when religious freedoms are frowned upon by some and not frowned upon by others, and they try to pull them away, especially from public schools. I do feel like God being in more people's lives will only better everybody. I really do believe that. In your view, what is President Trump's greatest ethical achievement? No, I'm not going to the priesthood. No. God, I'd be a bad priest. I'd be a bad priest. His greatest achievement, I still say I want to go back to tax cuts. I still think tax cuts were major. I think moving the embassy in Jerusalem was extremely big too. There's a lot of them. People who hate them don't want to talk about it, but tax cuts are huge for everybody. I think all the regulations on small business, that's major. How many businesses have been able to open up in urban communities that were never able to do it before? They couldn't even launch. So I think taking all this regulation shit off and saying, God almighty, open up, open your business, build a damn pipeline. We need to be more energy independent. And we that's why you see gas prices so low. We have a reserve. We used to have to go to every other country to beg for oil or buy it. We have our own reserve now. That's great for Americans. I like anything that is good for Americans. Simple as that. Now I'm getting a call. Anything good for Americans, I like. I like anything that is good for Americans. Simple as that. I don't play MLB The Show, no. Yeah, I don't like, I haven't played MLB The Show, the new one yet. I got 19, but I'll be honest, man, I haven't played many video games over the last couple of months at all. At all. So, yeah, my life hasn't really been evolved around any type of game here recently. Bringing jobs back to the U.S. Yeah, I think that's all major. Government and money does nothing. People do everything. Well, yeah, I mean, in a sense, the people are of course the backbone of the country, but fair government, which we don't have in many senses, does a lot, and I think money actually does do a lot in the sense. Do you believe in human worship of another person like him? No. No, I don't believe in worshiping any human. The Bible says there are no idols, only God, and that's my belief. That's my belief. That's my belief. I don't believe in having an idol. I don't have an idol. I never will have an idol. My idol is if I have an idol, it's Jesus. That's my idol. That's me personally. That's how I'm raising my children. My children shouldn't idolize anybody. My children have been taught to be raised with respect. They're taught to obey authority. And that's the way I was raised, even as my father was harassed by police his entire life because of his line of business. And, my father, I could be open and honest, wasn't the most legit guy on the planet. But my father never taught me to disobey people. My father never taught me to be disrespectful. My father always taught me to be respectful. And if I love anybody more than I love my family right here, If I love anybody more than I love my family, right here, I love my dad more than anything, because he taught me so much. So you give up Christianity? No, not at all. That's not giving up Christianity. Christianity's belief is that you don't have an idol. I don't have an idol. I don't have an idol. I don't worship anybody. I don't worship no human at all. I worship God, and that's it. God is my only idol. There is no idol in the idea of the Bible. Idols, false idols, idols in general are bad, and I don't have that. I don't raise my kids to have that. They could obviously be fans of things. I'm a fan of things. I don't worship anything but God. Um, 2020 Cy Young prediction, if there should be a baseball season. I don't know, man. At this point, it's just getting weird. At this point, it's just getting weird. Uh, what I was told, what I was told was that baseball had a shot. Baseball had a shot of coming back on July 4th. That was my understanding, is that there was a strong possibility that baseball would come back for July 4th. And that would be beautiful. That's America. That's July 4th. That's a beautiful day to celebrate. And to have baseball around at that time would be more American than anything. That would be amazing. From my understanding, that was the plan. That this whole thing would be set up where they would agree July 4th would be announced of the week that baseball will get going again. And we'd be back at it. Now with, it seems like, negotiations kind of maybe going in the wrong direction. Who knows at this point? And it's hard to even predict. I think there will be baseball. I think there has to be. Because these guys aren't going to want to lose all this money. So I think there will have to be baseball at some point. I think there will be. When it comes to awards and World Series and all that, I think I got to see I think I got to see what that's going to feel like when we get back to this thing. I think I got to feel in my heart what games are going to feel like and what things in general are going to feel like when it gets back. I think until then, I can't really have a real feeling about it. I don't think I could until then. I think I got to wait for that. Pete, any chance Gaethje fights Conor? I think there is a chance that Gaethje will fight Conor. You know, Khabib got some family things going on right now. You know, his dad is still not in good condition. So God forbid, you know, something were to happen there. So I think there's a possibility that you may see Conor and Gaethje fight. And again, my prediction is that fight doesn't last long. I feel that fight doesn't last long. But guys, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Thank you guys for staying with me for over an hour. I greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate the open dialogue. I greatly appreciate your questions. I appreciate you guys for being here. Guys, thank you so much. I'll talk to you guys again very, very soon. Again, thank you for being on.